Hello YouTube, this is You Can Do It Dave. So I'm going through the Goodwill store, Restore, thrift store, whatever you want to call it, and I came across this Altec Lansing 3-piece computer speaker system combo, and it has the subwoofer and mid-range and tweeters, and all in all it sounds really good. The problem is there's a bad connection right in here somewhere. You wiggle that and everything goes crazy. So today we are going to be working on fixing that. We're going to open it up, do some exploratory surgery, and we'll see if we can't get my little computer system working here for when I'm watching movies. So let's begin. So the first thing you need to do when you're working with a project like this is make sure it's unplugged. Always, always, always. You don't want to open it up and then find out it's all live in there. Okay. The next thing you do is pull out all the plugs. We'll need them later when we get it opened up just to see what wiggles. Okay. Move everything out of the way. Now, what you do with this thing is you have a look. Let's go mobile here. What you do is you have a look at this thing, and you can see the screws. You can see the screws going in this way, okay? So that means it attaches here and goes around. And it looks like I say, this is a solid box along the top for the subwoofer. So I'm going to bet that you take these screws out and you take those screws out, and there's a seam there. I'm betting that this whole top just lifts right off. But we will see. You got to make sure, you got to kind of have a look and see where you think it's going to separate. Probably right in there. Okay. So let's take these screws out and see what we have. Now all these side screws should be the same length. If they're not, make sure you make a note of where the shorter and the longer ones go. If you try to put a long screw in a short hole, it could cause more damage than what you're trying to fix. Okay. Now I'm going to assume these two little screws here are holding this in. So we'll set these screws aside. And assuming that it lifts off, just like that. Whew, that's heavy. Okay, so now we need to free this thing up so we can work on that circuit board. So if we pull that one, oh, there we go. Okay, there's just two little pins. I was worried that I was pulling the socket out with the plug. But no, it's just two pins. Gonna have to review the video, but I'm pretty sure the negative was on the right. So you gotta remember that. Okay, now we should be able to just lay this down. Ooh, clean the cobwebs out of it. Lay this down and then start working on this. So take these screws out. so. Okay, there's the thing we need to work on. So again, we set everything else aside. Should be 5 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set them aside. Okay, so we already know that that is good and that is good, so we're not going to worry about that. So now you flip this over. And usually if you plug in the plug, and you look at it really closely, let's see if we can't show you. But if you plug in the plug and give it a wiggle, so I had to switch my camera to macro mode and just look at it through the telescopic lens. And yeah, that center one there has a little bit of wiggle. Okay, but while we're in here, I'm going to just touch each one of these with a soldering iron and just make sure everything's got a good connection. Okay, so I have my big old soldering iron here. I don't have a fancy little electronic soldering iron, but so you make sure it's good and hot. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Yeah, we're getting nice and hot. Okay. Make sure it's nice and hot. Wipe off any excess solder. Okay. Then all you do is come in here and just give it a touch. Just to reheat it. Okay, so what that did was it remelted all those little connections. And so now we'll put it back together and we'll see how it works. So now we got it all put back together. We can plug it in. Now, I have not put the screws in yet, okay, because that might not have fixed the problem. So we'll get my movie player out here again. And we'll plug it in. And we got the left speaker. So the left speaker here. The right speaker is the one that has all the controls on it. And that's that one there. Oh, it even goes in more solid. Good. And then we can add the sound.
The trigger and he went away. Most cops go 20 years without firing their guns. Why do I always know where these guys are? Where to aim? When to fire? I'm wondering if there's something wrong with me, Father.
Nice. And that works. This is You Could Do It, Dave. And have fun tinkering.